Evening, y'all. Information is knowledge and power. I live a little prep a lot, share the love. Chief Prepper. Just wanted to give you an update. I got 2 more 25-gallon liquid propane tanks, and we'll get them filled up probably Monday. I got other shit I got to do tomorrow and Saturday, and then Sunday I'm tied up taking my wife to a run. Excuse me. I got the gun. One thing I did not get done today was I went and looked at wheels, but I got to measure something on the existing wheels or the shaft that the wheel's going to ride on. So, because the wheels and tires that come with the new 1,000-pound rated garden cart, they suck. All garden cart wheels suck. They last for about 6 months and then they won't hold air anymore. So I'm looking at getting what's called flat free wheels and tires. So I think the ones that are on there are 13 inches. I looked at some today that are 10 that I think will work, and if they will, then I will buy them. All right, and they have a set of 4, so I will be going back to deal with that in the morning or sometime tomorrow. I have other shit I got to do tomorrow too. There is what's called a show and shine, a car gathering at a different location tomorrow night, and me and my wife are gonna go. And then I got to go deposit a check, pick up parts for the Dart. What else? Go get some beer. I think I'm gonna drink some beer again Friday night, maybe. I don't know. My life is more complicated because of my dad right now, so that's just the way that shit is. What else can I tell you? Big 5: food, water, shelter, security. Water is a big thing. A Grail bottle is coming. I thought I ordered 2. I need to go into my Midway orders and check and see if something's up. So if I only ordered 1, then I got to go back in and order another one. So because I wanted at least 2 on hand, and like I said, I'm letting the order with the 2 titanium ones stand. All right. So with the Sawyer Mini setup and the Grail bottles, then basically what that means is if you can find water, you can filter it and drink it. So, and then I have more long-term filters, 2 of them rated for 1,000,000 gallons, but it's the same thing. When you're doing water, if your water's cloudy and dirty and nasty, you need to try and filter it through bandanas, sand, and other stuff so that it's cleared up as best you can before you run it to the filter that you're going to use to make it safe to drink. And then even then you might need to boil it. So also Saturday I got to pick up race packets for my wife at REI. While I'm there, I'm going to look into getting another Phoenix PD35 or whatever they got in stock. So not cheap, but it's on hand. You guys, if you're just starting out, you're really late, depending on when and where and what happens. This is something the prepping community has been prepping for shit, probably a decade now. And there are still preppers that are not ready. So, the last thing I'm going to talk about is this. It's simple. You need to do the 5 because no matter what, the 5 are always going to be needed in whatever disaster, emergency, shit hits the fan event you're going to experience. Thunderstorms, tornadoes, wind, earthquakes, hurricanes, power goes out. Doesn't matter why it's out. And what you have to do is bridge the gap. All right. So you want to be looking at prolonging your food that you have, hopefully stacked away. Choreo mass event, that's going to knock out electricity maybe forever. So, depending on what you have, if it's not protected, then it may not work anyway. So it may be a giant mistake. If there's an EMP and you're within the range, then it's money you spend on solar panels and solar generators and all that shit will be a mistake. All right. Refrigerators are not going to work anyway, so then you're left with your canned goods and your dry goods, whatever those are. So and hunting and fishing, Billy from Frontier Preppers put out a video and he said he didn't think the number would be 90%. I disagreed with him because every point he made is valid, except that the numbers that people hear and talk about are that 90% of America cannot withstand a 2-week natural disaster. You look at them poor folks up in Appalachia; they're tough sons of bitches. If they're around now, they survived the winter. Some of them were in fucking tents in sub-freezing temperatures and snow and ice. Right? So what he said is true. We can adapt and we can survive, but I don't think the people in the city will. I don't think they'll do very well at all because they're very spoiled and they're very lazy. All right, so and they're in San Antonio. They're all fucking fat. I'm a fatty compared to some people, but I'm also active as I can be, and then I'm not like most of them fucking people. So the women in San Antonio get their nose in a fucking bind because Charles Barkley talks shit about them. Well, I can tell you that many of the women are worthy of his label. So, not all, but many. All right. Enough of that shit. Anyway, the only thing that I can do that I haven't done on my power generation other than get my solar array up is they make a propane converter in addition to a gas for the Honda 2200i. So I might look into that. I installed it on my older generator, so I feel confident I could put it in those as well. Propane is so much better because it's still very volatile, but it's not liquid gas. So gasoline explodes. It expands, it goes bad. It contracts in cold weather. It attracts water, which is why it goes bad. All right, so gas would definitely be needed, but if you can run your generators on propane, then they do produce less power, but they will run. It's safer to store the liquid propane. How's that? So, anyway. I'm working on parts for the Dart. I gotta go by and pick up everything but the rear drums. And the rear drums, I think I left them out in the fucking rain, so I gotta get a hold of those tomorrow and fuck with them, get them cleaned up, and then get them out of the rain at least. Because the shiny part of metal rusts real fucking quick. So you need to start thinking about no electricity. I think more and more, based on the information that's out there, where they know that the Chinese are in the grid, and then the Portugal, Spain, and portion of France thing is just too odd for me. That may have been a dry run. So, anyway, information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prepper a lot. Big 5: food, water, shelter, security, medical. All right, Chief Prepper out.